everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fire Up. I hope we'd all fired up tonight. Are we, guys?
Yep. Always.
Woo!
I
Football's back.
love that
Football.
energy.
We got foosball.
Yeah.
It's a great time of year. We still have summer if you like baseball, and we have the start of football season. So if you like both sports, you're like loving this time of year, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was going to say, I was thinking about how really June and July are kind of like the dead period for sports after the NBA finals end. Or you have that month and a half dead period, and then it's like training camp starts, then preseason, and you have college football is back, and then you get closer to the MLB playoffs as well. So it's kind of ramping
Yoli.
back up a little bit.
how you doing back, babe? You got support here.
Yay! I love it when I have Packer backers in the chat. Gotta love that. But yeah, I get you, Samir. I mean, June and July. I guess it depends on if you're like a baseball junkie. Because if you're
Mhm.
not a baseball junkie, then yeah, it's pretty. I mean, although we've had World Cup this year, so it was a little more interesting than usual. I guess my dead months are really more like I don't probably April, May. Because like you have March Madness, but then like April and May for me, because I'm not a huge NBA basketball. I'm not a huge hockey person either. So those would probably be more my dead months, but I guess everybody's got their own.
Yeah. Everyone's got their own preference.
Well,
Correct.
I'm more football and baseball myself, as you well know.
Mhm.
I'm more football and basketball.
Okay. Hey. But that's what makes all this good because that means that some of us are better at talking about different sports and we don't all have to be experts at the same thing.
I mean, I played a little basketball, but I was never good at it. I admit it.
Yeah,
I
me
was a
too.
bricklayer. I was a bricklayer, but I was a garbage man. If it came off the board, I didn't care if I was smaller than you. I'd get the ball.
And I guess I'm more of a baseball
Hi,
person because I
Naomi.
played softball. So I was really a tennis and softball girl. So,
Yeah.
but I love football, but I didn't play football. So, speaking of that, the boys of summer, they are still got a good month and a half really left of the season.
Yes, they do. Sorry, I'm doing
They
this
do.
so I can eat.
It's ramping up.
It is ramping up. I can say it's going to be a dog race to see who's going to finish first in the National League. And I mean total. I don't mean just each division because the Brewers are up one game right now on the Braves and the Dodgers, who are tied for really second place in the National League. And then there's the American League where the Rays are running away with it. They're 74 and 46, and the next team next to them is 68 and 53. So uh, if we ended the season right now in the American League, it would be the Rays, the White Sox, and the Astros in wild cards would be Yankees, Red Sox, and yes, Jeremy, your Tigers are in as of right now.
Team with the losing record might make the playoffs. When's the last time that happened?
Last year,
Exactly.
wasn't it?
With the losing record?
As soon as it expanded to this, it happened.
And then in the National League, the ins would be the Brewers, Braves, and Dodgers. The wild cards right now are Cubs, Padres, and Diamondbacks. But the Phillies are right on the Diamondbacks. Like it's a tiebreaker that actually is why the Diamondbacks are in and not the Phillies. So close race. Who do we think?
It says in a full 162 game season, no MLB team has ever made the playoffs with a losing record. The Brewers made it during the 2020 COVID season when they were 29 and 31, but that was a 60 game season. And then I think in 1981, the Royals made it. They were 50 and 53 when the season was shortened due to a lockout. So it has happened before, just never in a 162 game set. I do think the National League is interesting because you mentioned those three teams at the top. But then what's interesting is at one point the Phillies were only 2 games behind the Braves in the National League right before the All-Star break. And since then, I believe they've gone 10-16 coming out of the break. Their lineup is very streaky. There's the top heavy guys, and you've got Schwarber, Harper, and to an extent, you got Trey Turner. Then there's not much there. And then the fascinating part is that their rotation of Aaron Nola, Christopher Sanchez, you wouldn't want to have to face that in a short series, but their bullpen has just been a disaster. Like every time I look, they're up or they're tied late in a game and they lose because their bullpen blows it. So that's what's going on.
What do we think about the Guardians? They are 1.5 games out of the wild card.
And that's because they lost 2 of the last 3 to the Tigers.
I know the Dodgers at one point had lost 8 in a row, but it seems like they're starting to get back on track now.
Yeah, that was right when the Skubal trade had happened.
You guys see last night Freddie Freeman took a bad fall, catching a
Yes.
Like when I first saw, I thought he had a concussion at first because when you look at how he fell, it looked like he had fallen right on his face when he fell over the steps. But luckily,
so basically, for those of you that didn't see it, he went for a foul tipped ball. He was going over on obviously the first base line. He was going over by the dugout. He thought the fence was going to stop him, but he was not where the fence was. He was where the steps were to the dugout. And so, yes, he fell basically down the steps, not even tripping like one step at a time. Like he literally went down.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah, if you watch the replay, it's like I couldn't believe. I don't know. Is there an update on him?
I mean, he said he was fine after the game. So
he was, but they said he was sore. He is back in the lineup after. So that
Guardians are a game and a half back of the Minnesota Twins that are a half game behind us. Because they only have 59 wins. Both Detroit and Minnesota have 60 right now. But the good thing is the season doesn't end today. So both of those teams, Minnesota and Detroit, will probably have a winning record by the end of the season the way they've been playing. Because they're always win 6 to 8 out of their last 10 games. That's what it's been fluctuating for every 10 games they go. And it's been an amazing run. The fact that we're winning more without Skubal and Mize in the rotation is amazing.
Yeah. I got you. It'll be interesting coming down the pipe to see who makes it and who doesn't.
I gotta ask this.
Will the high payroll and how cool was that? I don't know about you guys because I have not been watching it, but Schwarber opens the Field of Dreams game with a leadoff home run into the cornfield. How iconic is that?
Yeah. I love the Field of Dreams games. I wish they'd do more of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Ever since they built that out there, and didn't they build it in Iowa where the movie was filmed anyways?
Yes.
They basically bought that same lot of land and then just repurposed it.
They actually, yeah. I mean, Scott and I were actually out there. We went to the movie site. We actually were in the house, and we actually did an interview with one of the guys that runs the facility because they do tours now of the facility. And he did an interview with us. And if you go to the South Florida Tribune's YouTube channel, you'd be able to see the interview that Scott did. But that was really cool. It's kind of really cool to go to that movie site. And Scott walks out of the cornfield and onto the field just like they did. So,
and in response to his question, do I think the Guards pickup was good enough to win a World Series? Not when they've only won 3 of their last 10 games. If they continue this trend, this is the first time that they've been losing this bad after the All-Star break, probably in 3 years. I mean, they won the division last year because they went on a tear. And right now, they're on the verge. They're in 4th place in the division. If they don't pick it up, they won't make the playoffs.
Jeremy, can you do me a favor and send the link to Adam through Twitter? He's
Yep.
asking for it, please.
Not a problem.
But that's interesting. But I think regarding the National League, the best case scenario, and I'm saying this from a Braves point of view, would be hypothetically for the Braves to get that second bye, so that second seed, the Dodgers to get the 1 seed, because as of right now, they're the 3 seeds. So there's a good chance that if the season ends today, the Braves would have to play the Dodgers in the NLDS, which, wouldn't be ideal.
I don't think anybody wants to play the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting their pitchers. They have some pitchers that have been on the injured list that are coming back like they did last year. So they'll only pitch the last little bit here and be healthy for the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's perfect timing for them. But they do have, interesting enough, they have a 4-game series with the Brewers this weekend. So they could easily be back in that 1 seed. And if the Braves depending on how they do against the Diamondbacks, they could be right in that 2 seed. So I think the optimal situation would be Braves at 2, Dodgers at 1. The Brewers get that 3rd seed. You have Chicago and San Diego at 4 and 5. And then if it stays that way, and then if Arizona gets the 6th seed and the Phillies don't make the playoffs, because look, we don't want to have to, there's a chance we don't want to have that chance to go up there and play games there again, considering how 22 and 23 went for us. That wasn't any fun.
Mm-hmm.
And although I will say I wouldn't want to face Milwaukee's rotation at all in a short series, I would much rather face their lineup, if that makes sense. I think we did pretty good against their lineup when they played here. So it would be kind of similar to what we saw in 2021 when the games were relatively low scoring and it was the pitching getting it done. But our rotation in 2021 was better than it is this year. Do you think the Yankees will be a World Series team without Judge? No.
No, I don't think they are this year with Judge. I really don't. Judge, from what I'm hearing, he is just getting back to light duty. He's not even swinging yet. He's out there playing long catch like the pitchers used to do, which I think pitchers should probably get back to. Adam, we were just asked by one of the viewers, do you think the Yankees will be a World Series team without Judge? And I was saying, no, I don't think they are with him right now.
They have too many injuries on that team right now.
Yeah.
And their bullpen is atrocious. Their starting rotation's okay, but the bullpen, it's the same problem with almost every single AL team there is. Everybody in the AL was looking for a right-handed power bat and bullpen help. And some of people, they traded for bullpen prospects instead of MLB-ready bullpen arms. You know why? Because at the time, out of the 30 teams in the league, 29 were still in contention on trade deadline day.
Jeremy, I have a question real quick. Was a pitcher we faced 2 days ago from you guys a left-hander?
Troy Melton?
Yeah.
No. He's a fireball and right-hander. He tore you guys up.
I was just curious. Anyway, no, I don't
need you guys without a strikeout today, especially with a shutout.
I don't believe the Yankees will win the World Series.
Nope.
And if they keep falling like they are, they might not even make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's kind of where the Phillies are at right now with their bullpen.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, it'd be ideal for us if they didn't make it. I don't want to have to go up there and play again.
Right now in the American League, the hottest team is the Tampa Bay Rays. They've won 9 of their last 10.
Hmm. Yeah, they're kind of hot on a hot streak. So
And the hottest team in the American League is the Cubs right now at 8-2. There's a bunch of them at 7-3, including your Braves, the Padres, the Cardinals. But the Cardinals are so far back, it doesn't matter what they do because the National League has been much closer competition, but the good teams have been really good.
Yeah,
I think go ahead.
I am still concerned about our starting rotation because again, I think the only one I trust right now in a playoff start is Chris Sale. Martin Perez, I think, has been pretty good. Now he would be our game 2 starter, but after that, where do you go from there? Again, Bryce Elder, he can put together 2 really good outings, and then he'll have one bad outing in between where it's like, or the other day he had allowed 7 runs in 3 innings, and before that he went 6 in each of his last 2 or 3 starts. And now I know AJ Smith-Shawver pitched well in his last outing in Gwinnett. I think he's going to get called up soon, so there's a chance he might start a game. You got Grant Holmes. I think he's better off as a one-time through guy, more of a middle relief. So, yeah, that's kind of the state of our rotation down the stretch. Now, that's why I think it's important that you get the bye because the Braves are going to have to rely heavily on their bullpen in the postseason. Like, let's say you've got Grant Holmes or Bryce Elder starting that game 3. Like, it's got to be really no more than 3 or 4 innings or one time through the order, and you've got to have Walt Weiss at the top of the dugout waiting. Second, you get to that second time through the second. When you get to the top of the order that second time, you got to have Walt Weiss ready to, make a move if you need to. First sign of trouble.
Jeremy, I have a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're streaming to, but is there any way you can tag any of my pages on this? Because right now we are maxed out and I cannot stream to any of my pages.
I can remove my.
No, just share it. Just share.
No,
it.
I've already shared it to my Maxa too.
No, share it from Twitter or whatever.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to go across my page and that will get you more views.
Like that.
I think the AL wild card and the NL wild card is going to be way more interesting to watch down the stretch. And that's my personal opinion.
Do you think Soto did the right thing by going to play for the Mets, or you think he is there for the money because nobody was not going to pay that kind of money?
Oh, he went for the money 100% because if he wanted to stay on a playoff team that had a better chance to win, he'd have stayed with the Yankees. He'd have signed there for less because that's what they wanted him to do. These players chase money all the time, and yet they find out when they get to the place where they're going that it's not always better.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it, though, to a certain extent. They only have a career for so long. So go get as much money as you can within reason.
Hell yeah. Get it. Get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't blame anybody for getting paid.
No.
Just like Candy or Jeremy or me or Samir, if anyone walked in and said, hey, we're going to pay you and you can only be on our channel and you can't run your shit anymore, what are you going to say? Bye, guys. We can
show me the money. Show me the money.
Nice one.
We got our phone text. We can talk there.
That's funny.
Seems like the Mets are playing better since they got rid of some players, though. Just like the Tigers are too.
Well, I mean, yeah, they play better when it doesn't matter. They're the Mets.
I think they're starting to play better. Like they're just gelling better. I don't know why.
Don't you remember what Mr. Holiday Vargas said that Mets stood for?
Where is
It's
Vargas
proven
anyway?
it this year. I don't know. But he
I don't
did
know.
say it stood for my entire team sucks.
I think I've seen that before.
He wore it on a shirt his second show here.
Hey, they're in last. They're 20.5 games behind the Braves. What can we say?
Who, the Mets?
Yeah, but
The Mets, yeah.
Well, I mean, I said they're playing better since they traded.
I understand.
Yeah, and now they moved up to where their run differential is only -47. They're playing a lot better.
and ironically, for as bad as they've been, they won
I saw
the
that. Thank you,
season
Patty.
series against the Braves for the first time since 2017. That's the first time since 2017 they beat us in a season series. So I guess they can walk away with something.
Oh,
And we had a 2-point conversion. Nice.
I tried
Okay.
making a trade for Tesla today, just to let you know, Jeremy, in one of my leagues.
Yeah, he had a bad outing. I think it's just first game jitters. Yep, it's 14-16, a 2-point game, and I believe there is 128 on the clock. Do you know what that means?
What are you
Onside
thinking
kick.
about
Yeah,
there, buddy?
Inside onside kick coming. Even though they have to tell them about it, they have to try it with only 128 on the clock.
Yep.
I see Drew hours thrown all over your third and fourth string there, Candy.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
really, I don't know, like I'm impressed, but I'm not. You know, it's just a bunch of college kids anyway. Drew Hour was good in college, so I mean, it's
Patriots
good to see
are
him doing good, but still.
Should we transition to the preseason games real quick?
Yeah, let's go.
Patty-
Let's go for it.
Patty led into that one, didn't she?
Yeah,
Yep.
speaking of which, Adam, I saw Jeremy Bernard's having a pretty good game for your Steelers so far. He's got like what, 6 catches?
He
5?
almost had a touchdown. Mason Rudolph was scrambling around in the backfield for about it felt like 30 seconds. And he hit Bernard, and then he got 1 foot down and got pushed out of bounds. It would have been a nice touchdown.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's having a nice game. You're absolutely right, Samir.
Yeah, I know Fernando Mendoza's having a decent game as well.
I completely
for
forgot
the
he was.
Raiders.
I completely agree with Patty Grimes down there with that comment. I completely agree with you, Patty. I think it's dumb as hell to let the enemy know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's the one rule they need to omit. I don't think you should have to tell them. I think it should be.
I don't even think you have to line up for it either.
No,
think you
because
should
that used to tell everybody too. You should be able to line up normal and then shift and make them have to move for it, like it used to be.
Because I mean, it eliminates the entire purpose.
But the best onside kick I ever saw is still Pat McCaffrey's.
Yep.
Not
Pat
Sean
McAfee
Payton's
against the
Super Bowl.
Houston Texans. Kicked it 10
It's
yards
just-
and landed on it.
Yep. He just flubbed it straight down the center of the field. Nobody from the Texans was going towards it. He just ran up there and fell on the ball. It was crazy. I was like, how did he get there before everybody else?
I think he was the only one that knew, Jeremy.
Right.
Because if you watch, they never show what his teammates were actually doing. Like if they were running downfield or was it a design play?
All they did, it's like they focused on him kicking and then they saw the ball just flubbing forward and they said, ooh, and zoomed in on the ball. That was it.
Right.
You saw the Seahawks picked up Terrion Arnold.
Yes, I did. But let's do a scoreboard watch right now
Wait,
across the
that
league.
was your guy.
The
You guys
Packers
just
are
cut,
down
right?
9-28. We are at 14. Yeah, that's the guy we cut. 14-16. The Lions are down to the Bengals. And Luke Altmaier rushed a touchdown in and scored the 2-point conversion rushing. So we might have an athletic quarterback in our midst. The Colts are down 7-13 to the Pats.
I'm a Titan, Tennessee.
The
I will
Chargers
Tennessee win 15 games. What kind of world are you living in there, buddy? I'm glad you have optimism for your team, but holy
13-7 Chargers over the Texans, and the Cardinals are all over the Raiders 27-14. And right now,
Minshew
it's,
is having a game. He's 14 to 16, 102 yards with 2 touchdowns.
yeah. And the Titans are tied with the 49ers in the second quarter at 7-7.
That game's in Santa Clara, huh?
Yeah.
I did not look at my phone once. I just listened to the scoreboard reader.
Saw Deshaun
Yeah,
Striplin's
I just
having
was
a
given the
decent
update.
What were you saying, sir?
What the better question to ask is, will Tennessee not lose 15 games this year? Because new coach, new coordinators. I think at best in that division, because Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and the Texans are all decent teams defensively as well. 8 or 9 games is the best they can do. I think they're going to win 6.
I have them at 7. I like the Brian Dable hire, especially for a young quarterback like Cam Ward. Their wide receiver room should be a lot better. You had Wan'Dale Robinson. They went out and got Carnell Tate. And you've still got Calvin Ridley, who I think is a decent number 2 still at this point. They
Hi, Eddie.
did lock up Peter Skoronski long term, but I do have questions about them defensively. I know they've got Jeffrey Simmons. They've got a couple other guys as well. But I do think they will be much improved. I've got them at 7 and 10. And I do think Robert Saleh is a much better coach than what people give him credit for. It did feel like he was kind of starting to build something over there with the Jets, and between the quarterback situation and you got Woody Johnson, the owner. I do think he kind of got a raw deal.
His raw deal was going to the Jets in the first place. If your name isn't Rex Ryan, your career in the NFL as a coach is to go to the Jets and die.
Feet Ryan.
Herm Edwards did well there, but and I guess Parcells did too, but Parcells is already established.
Yeah, he was already established. I'm saying if you're a young coach going there, rest in peace to your coaching career.
Yeah,
Saleh never had control. Saleh never had control. The GM
he had control the first year, and then he brought in Rodgers, and Rodgers took over.
Yeah, and then
you can't blame it on Rodgers. Rodgers only played 5 snaps, and that's
right. But it was all the preseason stuff, Jeremy.
Rodgers only played 5 snaps in the regular season, and that's if you include the snap of his Achilles tendon.
Right, but remember all the crap Rodgers made him do before the season? Get rid of this guy. Get rid of that guy. Get rid of this guy. Bring in this guy. I like this guy. Bring him in. He's one of my favorite targets. Bring him here.
Yeah, and then not that he's been very good as a head coach, but I mean, Aaron Glenn is next. I don't think Aaron Glenn makes it through the season.
I think he'll make it through the season, but he won't be there the next offseason. I think that because they're one of those ones that usually don't fire people mid-season. You have to have love feet to be successful for the Jets.
Patty heard me say it. Beat Ryan, baby.
Oh, so
never mind.
Are we ready? Are we
ready?
Are we ready to talk about the top safeties all time? Because that was our list this week.
Absolutely.
I think we should talk about this Jaden Daniels bullshit.
No, we're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about
Let's
that.
talk about that.
That's on the list. But yeah, let's do the top 5 safeties.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Well, I did 7 because 5 through 7 for me, you could have inserted any one of the names on my list. But you want to go ahead and bring up my list there, Candy? It's in the.
Yep.
Number 1 is Ed Reed, the prototype ball hawk, 64 interceptions, 7 touchdowns, 9 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pros, and 2004 Defensive Player of the Year. Ronnie Lott, the enforcer, 10 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pros, and Hall of Fame. Troy Polamalu, 8 Pro Bowls, 6 All-Pros, 2010 Defensive Player of the Year, and he's also a Hall of Famer. Number 4 would be higher if those guys weren't so much better at the tackling part. Paul Krause, the greatest ball hawk ever. 81 interceptions, 9 Pro Bowls, and he's in the Hall of Fame 16 straight years with the Minnesota Vikings. Then you got Weapon X, Brian Dawkins, 9-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, Hall of Fame. Ken Houston might be the most underrated ball hawk safety ever. 14 defensive touchdowns, defensive back record, 12 Pro Bowls, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And then there's Earl Thomas. What can you say? Best single high safety in the 2010s. Darren Woodson doesn't even sniff my top 10. I think 5, 6, or 7, you could have put any name in any order there, and that would have been fine. Paul Krause, I have to give him credit because, well, not only was he great, but he's actually from my hometown where I live right now, Burton, Michigan.
I don't have a presentation PowerPoint like that.
That's okay. Do you agree with his list, or who are your top 3?
Top 5?
Top 5,
Obviously,
yeah.
Earl Thomas
Obviously.
had 64 interceptions. What are you talking about, Eddie Prather? That was Cam Chancellor that couldn't get interceptions.
I thought they weren't supposed to catch the ball on defense. They were just supposed to bat it down.
Yeah, that's what Cam Chancellor thought.
I went with Troy Polamalu, obviously, my guy. I think, yeah, his jersey's sitting right above me. Ronnie Lott, obviously.
Yeah.
I went with some hard-hitting Hall of Famers. Steve Atwater. Can't leave that one out. Brian Dawkins, obviously.
Thank you, Dr. Scotis. Is it Tanya Scotis?
I can't believe you left out John
PhD?
Lynch.
John
Yeah,
Lynch
I've got
comes in
John
at 8.
Lynch.
You're right. It was Cam that wasn't a cover guy. Well, that's because 2 seasons in a row he broke his hand and had to wear that club of a cast on there. You can't catch when you're clubbing the ball away.
Kenny easily is my 6th person.
Are we doing 6 or 7?
Well,
I just did an honorable mention because Jeremy went 7.
I went 7 because I couldn't decide who was 5th, 6th, or 7th, so I just wrote them down.
Are we doing from your team as well or no?
Yeah,
we'll
we're
come
gonna,
back to
we're
it.
gonna
We're
do that
doing
after.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
My top safeties of all time. I've got Ed Reed, arguably the best of all time. Easily the best of the last 30 years, in my opinion. And it's not really all that close. You got Brian Dawkins, one of the hardest hitting safeties in the NFL of all time. He's up there as well. Of course, you have Troy Polamalu. Was he a captain on that defense that won the Super Bowl in 2008?
Yes.
Yeah, he was the captain on one of the most dominant defenses in the last 20, 25 years that won the Super
And
Bowl
he had
in
the
2008.
huge interception against the Ravens 2 weeks before that to lock up the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Good to see you. Nice to have someone tuning in from West Virginia.
Oh,
And
I'm
she's
not
on
good
LinkedIn.
enough. I'm not good enough from West Virginia.
Hey,
I've got
she's
John-
tuning in, not in the show.
I've got John Lynch on there as well. He was with the Bucks for a long time. Another hard-hitting safety that won a Super Bowl. And then I've got an underrated one, Charles Peanut Tillman, current FBI agent, for those who didn't know that. Or
Actually, he
FBI
retired from that 2 weeks ago.
retired FBI agent, for those who didn't know that. I think he's one of the more underrated.
Pat
safeties.
Tillman needed a couple more years, but he would have been on that list.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about Roy Williams, the safety. I fight with Cowboys fans about him all the time. He was overrated, as you know what.
Oh, well, we'll do that.
Trash.
Yeah. But yeah, Pat Tillman's one. But I meant Charles Tillman from the Bears.
Charles Tillman was a cornerback. Pat Tillman was a safety for the
I thought
Cardinals.
Charles Tillman was a safety. My fault.
Nope. He was a punt returning cornerback, no less, that converted to running back for a year for one team because he couldn't cover anymore. But It's okay. Hey, we all make mistakes. We're human.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I wasn't afraid of mistakes, I wouldn't do this.
So who's your top 3 Steelers
I've got Ronnie Lott on there.
safeties?
Well, I got to see Polamalu and Donnie Shell both get inducted into the Hall of Fame, so I'm putting both of them there. And my third one, it's a huge toss-up because a lot of the safeties came from cornerback on our team. I like Cornell Lake, obviously. I think I was going to go with Cornell Lake. I really do.
I like that.
Obviously, you know, you could throw some other names in there, but I'm just going to stick with those 3. That way I don't change my mind.
Who's your top 5, Candy? Because we didn't get that out of you. The all-time.
Top 5
No,
all
we-
time. Got to go with Ed Reed. Got to go with Ronnie Lott. I'd put Paul Krause in there. I would put Troy, obviously. And then I would go with Ken Houston. That would be my top 5.
Eddie, I said if Pat Tillman was able to play for a couple more years, he would definitely be on that list.
Right.
I agree. I agree. If he wouldn't have joined the military and had the whole friendly fire thing happen, or if he could have came back and played another 3 years after, I think he would probably been one of the greatest safeties who ever played. He was one of those guys and a countryman. First. Yeah, there's nothing not to love about Pat Tillman. He was a hard hitter. He wasn't he in before Sean Taylor got in, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was hitting like Sean Taylor back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sean Taylor's another one that'd be on this list if he was able to play for a few more years.
I think he only needed to play 2 more years. The rate he was going.
Tony, what's going on?
Tony, it's good to see you in here too. Tony talking game.
Yep. Hey, Tony.
No, but he was one hell of a hitter. Ronnie Lott wasn't as much of an interception guy as he was a hitter. He was the enforcer of that defense on the back end. If a running back came through there, they feared God.
So Sean Taylor and Pat Tillman are definitely honorable mentions in this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Adam, did you give your top 3?
Yeah. Cornell Lake, Donnie Shell, and Troy Polamalu.
Okay.
Who are your top 3, Candy? Gotcha.
Willie Wood, Leroy Butler, and Bobby Dillon.
Wow,
Sure,
Charles
that's
Woodson
good.
didn't make it with you.
He
Mhm.
was primarily a corner, though.
No, but when he played for Green Bay, he was primarily a safety at that point.
I know.
My safeties were
Just like that's why I didn't say Rod Woodson because he didn't play safety until he went
right,
to
and that's why Rod
San
Woodson didn't get
Francisco.
an honorable mention from me because he didn't play safety long enough to be considered one of the best safeties.
Yeah, Rod Woodson would have been on my corners list. He was on my corners list if I had been.
He was on mine too.
Yep, I remember. But for the Lions, it was Benny Blades from the 80s. That guy was 80s and 90s. He was amazing. Quinn Glover for the mid-2000s because when he came over from the Texans, he literally made our safety room better and was a great leader and a team captain. And last, it's a tie in their current Lions, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. I think I can't separate them two because Brian Branch is the hitter type that can make plays on the ball, and Kirby is a single high safety that makes QB mistakes that more expounded by how well he tracks the ball.
Samir?
So for my top 3 Atlanta Falcons safeties, I've got Jesse Bates. He's arguably the best defensive free agent signing in franchise history. He's the only player in NFL history overall to have a pick 6 in 3 consecutive seasons. He had one last year against the Rams on Monday night. He had another, I think the day before Christmas Eve, I think, against the Giants. And then, of course, probably the highlight of his time in Atlanta was that 93-yard pick 6 against the Saints off Derek Carr, in which basically flipped the game upside down. The second one is Scott Case. Made a couple of Pro Bowls, played in the 80s and 90s alongside guys like Deion Sanders and Jesse Tuggle. And then my third one, this was kind of hard for me to decide, but I had to give it to Keanu Neal, considering the trajectory he was on before injuries ultimately derailed that. Like, he could hit, he could play the run, you know. And then I think it was
I hate to burst your bubble, but there is one other one that had pick 6 touchdowns in 3 consecutive seasons that you're forgetting, and you named him tonight.
I did.
Rod Woodson.
Yeah, Rod Woodson. I think might have been the only safety. Not
he was
player.
A safety when he recorded those 3 pick 6s. Because it was the last year he was with his former team, and then the 2 years he was with the Steelers.
Oh, okay.
As a safety.
But yeah, I've got Keanu Neal as my third. He actually started on that 2016 team as a rookie that went to the Super Bowl, was a Pro Bowler the year after, could hit, played the run well, and then the next year, week 1 at Philly, he tore his ACL, came back the next year, unfortunately tore early that year again, and was just really never the same player since. So he's my third one.
I just, sorry that I fact checked you, but I had to type it in and search and find out. And I was like, wait a minute, Rod Woodson. Now, if you want to talk about the guy that had the most in one season, we all know it's Deron Bland, because he broke Trayvon Diggs' record on the same team.
Okay, let me rephrase that. He is the only active NFL player.
There we go.
During that span.
Yes, it did, Rob. Yes, it
Absolutely
did. Changing the safety definitely saved his life.
Definitely. Because I know I took note of that somewhere before we came on, so I had to double check. I misspoke.
It's okay. I just was like, wait a minute.
Does anyone remember how great it was to see Brian Dawkins go back to Philly after being traded?
Yes.
All the Philly fans all in Denver jerseys, wearing the Brian Dawkins jersey. It might have been the only time a returning player got that kind of ovation in Philadelphia.
I'm pretty sure Allen Iverson did when he went back with Denver.
No, but I don't know if it was that big.
I don't know. Like, as great as Brian Dawkins was, and Philly's had some big stars, I don't think they've had a star bigger or that could relate to the city of Philadelphia more than Allen Iverson.
Reggie White. When the preacher went back after they had that Super Bowl win with the Packers, he got a standing ovation in that stadium, and that holds way more people than any basketball stadium. I hate being a guy that knows this, because you know how much I love the Packers.
I know.
I thought you loved the Packers, Jeremy.
Best team in the NFC North. What can we say?
Not for the last few years.
Yeah.
She didn't like that being brought up.
Yeah, well, there's always, that's why we play the game this year. You never know.
And I think this is probably the toughest decision to actually pick who's going to be the winner of the division. Because if Kyler Murray is even 80% of what he was with the Cardinals with better weapons, if that O-line can protect him, he'll be better than everybody thinks.
Oh, they have a
Jeremy, I saw you Kyler Murray at practice today.
Especially in O'Connell.
Yeah, I saw him too. It's great watching somebody try to tackle somebody that's only knee high to them.
Yeah, I was saying that, especially in O'Connell's offense. But if I were to make a pick, if the Lions are healthy, I'd have to go with them. I think the Bears' offense is going to take another leap, especially Loveland and Burden. But I just don't trust their defense. More specifically, their pass rush.
Trust the court.
Yep. If Murray is average, the Vikings, that's exactly what I'm saying. If he was 80% of his best year, which the best year was the year they made the playoffs, when they started out 8-1 and only won like 2 games down the stretch, and they made the playoffs, and then got housed by your Cowboys, Eddie Prather.
I think that was the Rams.
No, there was a year they made it when they lost to the Rams. But there was a year he made it when they lost to the the Cowboys. Bad. And the Bears defense has holes, especially with now that the guy that they signed to replace their leader on the safety room, Kobe Bryant, is basically out for the season, 6 to 8 months after needing knee surgery. I like that, Yinzer.
And
Kyler Murray will fake an injury when the new Call of Duty comes out.
yeah, because they did lose Jaquan Brisker to Pittsburgh. They lost Kevin Byard, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, and they lost Nashawn Wright. Those three
Nashawn
players right there.
They accounted for a lot of their turnovers. So they're losing.
That was 16 of their 28 turnovers last year, and all 8 of their defensive pick sixes.
Yeah, and they let go Tremaine Edmonds. They cut him, so they're going to have a new starting linebacker. I do like the safety they picked up from Purdue. I think that was a good point. And
didn't they get the Eneman?
Yeah, the Eneman. They did get Jordan Vandenberg from Georgia Tech in the 6th. Apparently, he's having a good camp. But yeah, I just don't defensively. I think there's some holes there, especially up front.
Didn't we say Jeremiah Love sucked ass last week?
He had 14 carries and 73 yards today, so it's decent.
Yeah, this week looked a lot better than last week. I thought we said last week he looked horrible.
He did look horrible versus a better defense. He played the Raiders.
I kind of feel bad for him because he has to leave behind that makeshift offensive line, and then now Chase Besantis, he was their 2nd round pick. He's been carted off with knee injury.
Ginger, you did not just say that. The Bears defense got more holes than a female porn star.
Drew Allers' first pass on for a touchdown. Let me tell you about some terrible tackling, Candy. Did you see it?
I did not. I have not watched any of it. No.
Who's Drew Aller? Who does he play for?
The Steelers.
The Steelers.
Oh. The good news is it's the 4th quarter, and the Raiders did not score in the 3rd quarter. Who was their quarterback that played the whole game?
What's your Twitter, Candy?
Oh, I don't have Twitter. Scott does.
So Mendoza played the first half.
Did he play the whole first half?
I'm waiting to see the next time that they nope, it was Kirk Cousins, and
Kirk
he
Cousins
made
was 5'6", 50 yards, 1 touchdown.
with a touchdown to Michael Mayer.
Yeah, I mean it's preseason. They're always looking just to see who their backups and who's, So I don't put a lot of stock in it.
Did that Tribune South?
Yeah,
at Tribune South.
I guess it was Scott.
The Chargers are taking it to
the Texans.
Yeah, it's 27-7 in the 4th quarter. They scored 2 touchdowns with DJ Uiagalelei, the guy that couldn't do anything at Clemson, and he's making that.
Well, but he's only 5 of 7 for 88 yards and 1 touchdown. Trey Lance is 12 of 20 for 164 yards. Now he's thrown an interception.
Ooh,
so
I mean, I remember
they have 2 rushing touchdowns. Sorry, Samir, I think you were my best.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Thank you, Tanya.
I was going to say he wasn't much better at Florida State either.
Mm-hmm.
I said he didn't do anything for Clemson. He didn't do much at Florida State. DJ Uiagalelei. Whew. So now that we know that pretty much the Lions did lose to the Bengals 14-16, but at least they made it a game. And everybody was like, I don't understand them going for it on 4th and 6. And they were trying to draw the defense off size to make it into 4th and 1. because they kicked a field goal, but the defense jumped off sides. So, yeah, you take that chance to get to that 4th and 1. You don't go for it on 4th and 6. So they waited till the last second and called the timeout and then sent the kicker in, and he made the field goal again.
The Steelers went for it on 4th and goal from the 3 and got stopped at the 1.
That's different. That's giving a team a 99-yard field. You can't do it when you're on the 34.
Well, the Packers, they drove and then they went 3 and out eventually.
Yep. Okay, guys. Injuries. Big injuries that have
For the
happened.
There was a lot of them. I mean, basically, you got half the Panthers starting roster on the IR. Both tackles. Nick Scorton, their big signing this offseason. Then one of their safeties. It was that's all but one was ACLs.
Mm-hmm. And then Chris Brazzell.
Yeah, Chris Brazzell on offense. Yeah.
And then I think one of their tackles, as you mentioned, I think Ike Okonwu, I have to check, is going to be out for a while.
Yeah, Ike Okonwu is the one that's out for the season. The other one's out for half a season.
Yeah, Tyler Moton.
Yeah, Tyler Moton.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a horrible spot. I mean, and what's bad about it is they actually won that game versus the Cardinals. I couldn't believe it that they pulled it out the way they did in that Hall of Fame game. And that probably was the most competitive Hall of Fame game since they started it.
And then Haynes King, who scored on the last play of the game, has a hamstring injury, and I think Carolina they're going to pick up a quarterback off the market already. So he caught a bad break as well.
Oh, that their third stringer injured his hammy
from Georgia Tech. Yeah.
Yep. That stinks because he looked pretty good.
Yeah. And then we're not doing so well in the injury department either. I know Juwan Taylor's back, Tua's back. We're waiting for Michael Penix to get medically cleared by his doctor, but I think the big blow was last week losing Jalen Walker to a torn ACL. And he looked like somebody who, with his 5.5 sacks last year, he set the edge, played the run well. I thought he was going to be someone who made that big jump in year 2. And then with that and looming James Pierce suspension, that edge room is looking, not so good right now.
How about the 49ers? They have a whole bunch on the injured list.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the most injured team in the NFL. You can't tell me any otherwise. That substation, they're using it to transfer all the power of the people who get injured on the practice field to Christian McCaffrey to keep them healthy.
Mm-hmm. I looked at that list. I'm like, holy smokes, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 with 3 on the physically unable.
Yeah, yep. It's crazy. And
Brandon Ayuk, I don't even consider him a Niner.
I understand that it's football and injuries happen, but they've got to consider overhauling that training staff or that medical team, whoever they are, because again, it's football, injuries happen, but when you have this many injuries year in and year out, that's not bad luck. That's a trend. And it seems like I don't know what it is. Doesn't seem like they're not doing something right in that department or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 20 between our questionables to the IR to the PUP list for the Lions. So we're not in that great a shape either. But I will say we got the best news of the week the other day. It's looking like that both Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch may be back by week 2, that they're talking about taking them off the PUP list so they'll be available earlier in the season. That's huge for us because who do we play week 2 and where? We play the Bills in their brand new stadium for their home opener.
The stadium that has more obstructed view seats and
I saw that.
Hear about that?
Yeah. I think they said it was a total of 135 seats that have obstructive views of parts of the field. And they showed pictures from every single angle. And I was like, wow, that's awful. Especially when some of them are in the lower bowl where there's an overhang that cuts off like the end zone at one end of the field.
And then they don't have the big score or big screen. They have some big screens, but not
but they're
big enough
on
to
each end
see.
zone. They're
Yep.
on each end zone. So if you're in that spot where you're obstructed from looking up over here because of a balcony, and then you're obstructed from the end zone down here, guess what? You don't see those big screens from that seat. I would find out where they're at, circle them on my map of when I'm buying tickets, and say, okay, I'm not sitting here, I'm not sitting here, and I'm not sitting here.
Exactly.
That would suck to be a season ticket holder and get stuck there.
Yeah, because you picked your seats when they first did the seating chart, and you just happened to pick it. And maybe that's what it was, because they did that one practice that was like a family fun fest thing, like they did at Ford Field, where they could come into the new stadium. What if one of those season ticket holders had that seat, went and sat in his seat, and he's like,
you figure they would have that all fixed by now.
You would think.
I mean, I know we're in the 1900s and all, but geez, we're not building an municipal stadium.
Yenzer, thank you for mentioning that. Does anybody else think those gray uniforms look like somebody came off of the 1960s Batman set for designing Adam West's Batman costume?
They look awful, and the helmet they have looks even worse. The city edition thing is just one of the things that the NFL did, and it's like there was just simply no need for it. Like, what they should have done.
I think that's why Detroit just kept the grays they had, even though they looked like pajamas to me. They were like, okay, that's our city jersey.
I like the grays. I like the Detroit grays, actually. I think it goes well with the helmet and such. But what they should have done instead is once a year, you have an annual Heritage Week, and every team wears their throwbacks for every game.
Hinter says them uniforms look like a Diet Pepsi can.
Yeah. Like,
I thought that's what the helmet looked like, but
what uniforms are we talking about?
The Bills gray uniforms they revealed for this year.
Yeah.
They're alternative.
And I was saying that instead of doing these city uniforms, I don't think I've seen a single one that looks good. Maybe to see, like the white ones they wore last year, I like those. But the gray ones, like, what are we doing?
That's the white out. They had that last year. That's not the one.
That's the one I got. That's the one I got Josh. That's the one I got Josh.
Yeah.
I got Josh that jersey.
I don't mind the white. We call them the marshmallows here in Detroit when we wear the all whites.
Those jerseys were actually really nice whenever I opened it and looked at it.
Like, the one thing I like about, and I guess this is a perk about their new stadium also being open air, when they're playing those games in November and December and it's snowing, they could wear those in a game.
There we go.
But yeah, I think the point is that the NFL should have, like, once a year do a Heritage Week, pick whenever you want to have it, and again, every team would wear their throwbacks in each game.
I hate our alternates.
So that's what they look like.
Yeah, I was just getting that saved right now.
What is
gonna have
what
a
is
better
that?
one, so
is that the Bills jersey?
Yeah,
That's the Bills. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
the
the
Bills
helmet.
alternate.
Jeremy,
Here,
which alternates? The black ones? You don't like the black
ones? This will be
ones?
better. Oh, I love our black ones. But that's the Bills one, and I don't like this because this looks like they're trying to do something. I don't know what they're doing with it. It don't look like Bills. But they said they modeled those grays after the Detroit gray, and I was like, they're not quite right to be that type of gray. You know what I mean? It just doesn't go with their color schemes.
Mm-hmm.
The
I would
helmet
agree.
ruined the whole thing.
Yeah.
And when they showed it from a front and back view on one website, I swear to God, I thought it was a Batman costume. All
The
it was missing was a
1960
cape.
version.
Yeah, the 1960 version, because of that color blue on the helmet.
Okay, guys. Normally, well, let's. I want to switch because I want the last topic to be the,
Jaden Daniels one.
yeah. Let's talk about the Lakers
Ooh, let's
selling
talk
for
about-
12.5 billion. So
Because
in 1 year,
caught
you
in
made
another scandal.
2 point some billion.
Yeah, and yeah, they made money, but here's the part where it gets sketchy. Jeannie Buss had a contract with the people that bought it previously to be able to help run the team for 5 years exclusively. Does that contract carry over to another owner, or is that null and void now?
I don't know. And personally, it's also part of the reason why it's kind of tricky when you sell the team a year after you buy it. I mean, Mark Walter, who also owns the Dodgers, bought the team for 10 billion and sold it for 12, so obviously he made a profit. But I think well, it's the Lakers, so it's not really going to affect them, but ultimately I don't believe that an owner should be allowed to sell their team for a certain amount of time.
I
Like,
think
you
it
have
should be
to
a
own it
minimum of a 5-year span.
minimum of 5 years at least.
Shouldn't they be able to do what they want with their team now?
Yeah,
Well,
you put up the money if you want to. I mean, it's an investment. Let's face it. This is a business.
And you
at
just
least
made
he sold
$10
it
billion.
for. No, he made $2 billion because he spent $10 billion on it.
It's still good money.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's not good money. I'm just saying.
But he also had to sell because of the scandal, right? The clicker,
didn't-
whatever that was all about.
I don't
He
know
doesn't
what
own
it
the
was about.
Clippers.
The what?
He doesn't own the Clippers.
No, there was a clicker and
Oh,
there
they
was some
said
kind of
Clippers. My
scandal.
fault. They said
Mhm.
Clippers.
So they do say we have enormous respect and appreciation for Jeannie, her father, and what they've contributed to this franchise. And we have every intention to honor the agreement that was made between Mark and Jeannie. If things change, they'll change, but we're going into this with enormous respect and appreciation for who she is and what she represents in the organization.
Well, that was the big questions they were talking about on a couple of the sports shows this morning about it.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I bet you that statement was released later on today. Because I
So
know on the morning shows they didn't know.
they were talking about the 66-year-old billionaire is being investigated by federal authorities for alleged tax fraud related to other companies in his business empire. So
I think that's why he sold.
Yeah, and he's only selling the Lakers. He also has ownership stakes in the Dodgers, the Los Angeles Sparks, the Premier League club Chelsea, and several racing teams, including Cadillac Formula One. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, 2.5 billion in a year, not bad profit there.
Right.
No.
Again, I'd take it. Okay. So the latest, let's talk about this Jaden Daniels. Tell me, what are your thoughts? So Jaden Daniels hopes that his number 5 jersey conflict with LSU is resolved privately. Well, come on, you already came out and let the cat out of the bag. He also has put a stopgap on their NIL that they can no longer make money on his name, image, or likeness,
which includes
And
his
he
jersey
took
number.
and he also requested for the replica Heisman to come out of the LSU school.
Yep.
I mean,
and I think the kid today that was trying to get the number just said, "I don't even want to wear it anymore."
Well, good for him.
mean, I feel like when you play for an SEC school, a school like Georgia, LSU, Alabama, the schools that just push out NFL talent year in and year out, that are in the mix year in and year out. Those schools don't retire jerseys because it's almost essentially you're one of the many good players they have that go through that program. Now, if you had played at a school like for example, Fernando Mendoza is going to get his jersey retired at Indiana when you consider
1 year.
state of the program. Well, you consider the state of the program, and then he gets there his first year, wins a national championship. Yeah, they're going to
undefeated
Yeah.
national championship.
Right.
I think that's the bigger thing. It's just like when Kurt Signetti retires, they're probably going to put his statue outside the stadium the first day it's going to start being erected.
Mm-hmm. But they might name a stadium after him.
They might, yeah.
So yeah, it's like, for example, if you played, and then again, LSU has had Joe Burrow already, who also won a Heisman and won a national
championship.
Now, provided he had arguably the greatest team in the history of college football, but my point stands is when you go to a school like that, you're one of many. That's like, for example, if you played running back at Georgia and you went in the first round of the NFL draft, you want your jersey retired. Well, you've got Todd Gurley, Sonny Michel, Nick Chubb, Herschel Walker, James Cook, a bunch of really good running backs that went through there. So it's kind of like, oh, well, you're one of many. You're playing wide receiver at Ohio State or DB at LSU. It's kind of like you've got to have done something historically significant to have your jersey retired, or you've got to leave an impact in a way that
Shedeur Sanders ruin this for everyone.
Did Shedeur Sanders ruin? Well, it's Colorado. Well,
it doesn't matter. That's what this is stemming from. A guy that doesn't even go 500 gets his number retired.
I think they went 9-3 that last year there.
His overall record, I'm talking about, Samir.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah.
Well, it does help when I guess your dad's the coach, but I guess case in point in regard to LSU.
And why I don't understand, like, why did Jaden Daniels feel he needed to have his number retired?
I don't get it.
Because he won a national championship?
He didn't.
Jaden made it clear that he did not want his number given to another player, and he believed his wishes would be respected. Supposedly is what he said.
No.
It says, to see his number given to another player is incredibly disappointing and feels like a failure to honor the significance of what Jaden accomplished at LSU.
I mean, it's college, though. I mean, you've got guys on offense and defense who are in the same number.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a quarterback recruit came in and said, I want to wear the number 5, I guess that would kind of make sense because, it's kind of like create your own number, create your own path. You know what I mean? But I think
go ahead.
Yeah, but I think he's playing defensive back from what I read.
It says LSU coach. It says Pickett wore a number 3 jersey as a freshman last year, but is switching to number 5 this season. The 6'5" cornerback is a former 5-star recruit who had 3 interceptions as a freshman last season. LSU coach Lane Kiffin said last week that Pickett was promised the opportunity to wear number 5 when he signed with LSU in December of 2024, when Brian Kelly was coaching the Tigers. Kelly was obviously fired in October of 2025, and Kiffin was hired at the end of the regular season. When a kid's promised something to come to a school, he should be allowed to wear it. So at this point, I don't think it's really my decision, according to Kiffin.
I mean, what else can you really say?
I mean, I agree. It's college. Like you said, defense and offense sometimes wears the same number. It's tough. I mean, how many numbers are retired? Does LSU have any numbers retired?
Where's our dirty South guy when we need him?
Retired. Billy Cannon's number 20 is the only permanently retired football number at LSU.
What year did he play?
I couldn't tell you anything about the guy, but he must have been really good.
Let's see. LSU has honored 5 football players with retired jerseys: Billy Cannon, number 20, Charles Alexander, number 4, Jerry Stovall, number 21, Tommy Casanova, number 37, and Burt Jones, number 7. Let's see. Although former LSU quarterback Joe Burrow's number 9 has not been worn by another official, it's by another player since he left, it's not officially retired. Let's see if the article tells me more about Billy. Cannon became LSU's first Heisman Trophy winner in 1959 and remains one of the most celebrated players in school history.
I'm just waiting for this to become an issue. I mean, didn't let anyone wear Joe Burrow's uniform. White privilege, I'm feeling. When's that card gonna be pulled?
It says a retired jersey can commemorate a player and preserve his place in LSU history without making the number permanently unavailable. So, LSU's current policy provides an important explanation. The school's rules state that jersey numbers retired after January 1st of 2007 do not necessarily prevent a current student athlete from wearing that number, subject to the head coach's discretion. That's why the word retired can be misleading when discussing LSU football.
Amen. It's the same with any college team, probably.
Oh, I'm sorry. Billy Cannon is a top 25 all-time great college player.
All right, I'll take your word on it. This is the first time I ever heard a guy's name. I need to look him up, I guess.
Yep. Okay, guys. My town? We ready?
Sure.
Yep.
Samir, what's happening in your town?
So the Braves finally beat the Mets in the series this year. It was their first time doing so. They took 2 of 3. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier in the show, they did drop the season series against them for the first time since 2017. That was the first year which Truist Park, which was known as SunTrust Park, then opened. So it's been a while. The starting pitching has held up pretty well. Tyler Mahle, another pretty good outing. He had a pretty good one in New York. Pitched well, 6 innings of 1-run ball, went over 20 pitches in the first, and seemingly had control of the game from that point on. But we'll see how it holds up down the stretch. They've got a tough stretch in September and late August as well, so we'll see what happens there. The Falcons will play the Broncos at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and for their first preseason game. As Kevin Stefanski said a couple weeks ago, the starters will play. It's been a while since we've had that in Atlanta. That includes Tua Tagovailoa, amongst others. They're going to play about 10 or 15 snaps. So I saw Sean Payton said Bo Nix will not play, but other starters on offense and defense will. So that's it from my town.
Adam, what's happening in your town?
The Penguins signed Vito Cavion to a massive 8-year deal with $32 million extension. This is the kid we got in the Jake trade from Carolina. So I don't know what they're seeing in him. He has 4 goals so far total. But well, I'm not the scout on the guy, but I'm excited, I guess. Paul Skeens, fatigue setting in.
His mechanics don't look right.
I think they need to shut him down. I think something's wrong with him. I know you can only throw so much power for so long before everything just gets loose. And as you guys know, his velocity's down this year.
His control isn't there either.
He just seems off. And I don't know. I really don't. I think he needed to shut down. I said it like probably 2 weeks ago.
It was longer than that.
Jared Jones is the best pitcher, but now all of a sudden Jared Jones is showing fatigue too. After the Tommy John surgery. So Braxton right now is probably the best pitcher on this team at 12-4 or 12-8. I think he is. 12-4, 12-8. But I know he won today because the catcher they called up today hit 2 3-run home runs against the Marlins today. First time that's been done in a debut. And Steelers won tonight against Candy's team over there in Green Bay. But it's preseason, and
and it was in Pittsburgh.
I'm
not even going to use that as an excuse for why the Lions lost.
I'm not saying it's an excuse.
I will say it's preseason. At least we made a game of it. We were competitive. I saw a few things I needed to see from the backups that were playing. I do think that Blake Miller looks like he was worth every bit of that first-round pick from what I saw. Christian Mahogany didn't have his best game, but Miles Frazier was worse. Within 5 plays, he had 3 penalties, which took us almost out of field goal range. That's not good.
I also noticed something tonight too, that starters for defense had 7 penalties on up till halftime, and 4 of them were personal fouls. I know they cheap shotted Tyrod. Yeah, I know they cheap shotted Tyrod Taylor. I didn't realize what they said on the radio. I didn't see it. But yeah, there's 4 personal fouls out of 7 penalties, and that needs cleaned up pretty much ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, over to you.
Well, we all know my Tigers right now, as it stands, are in the wild card because they jumped all the way from 8th to 6th place with the win over the Guardians, who fell to 4th place in the division.
I told you last week they looked dead.
Yeah, I didn't believe it until today when I looked at the stat line and I saw that the 4 pitchers for the shutout didn't throw a single strikeout. I was like, wow.
Even that win yesterday, like they weren't even excited.
No, they didn't get excited, and they should have been because they were beating a team that was on a hot streak.
Right. And
in the division.
At least you see it now, too. What I saw like 2 weeks ago.
I saw. I was like, it's like they've given up already.
Yeah, and I don't understand it. I really don't.
I mean, and if you look at the AL rookie voting right now, the top 4, 2 of them are Guardians. Right. McGonigal's leading the way. There's Messick and Brazano in there. But the guy that's in 2nd place is the guy that you mentioned the other week. Now that he's back, he's hitting the ball again.
He's smashing the ball.
From the White Sox. Yeah.
Maricama.
Mm-hmm. But he's 2nd by a long shot because he missed too much time.
Every game this weekend in Detroit should be moved to prime time because they are playing the White Sox.
Right. And now we've moved probably, let's see, did we move into 2nd place again?
Yeah, you're in 2nd place. But the Twins didn't play today, I don't think.
Yeah, the Twins didn't play, and they already have a...
You should have passed them by a half game.
Yeah, we are. Because they have 1 more loss than we have. No, they have 2 more losses than we have, so we're technically a full game ahead of them.
They still have 2 games. They still have 2 games in hand, there, right?
Yeah, they're 60 and 63, but that puts them at least a full game, if not 2 games behind.
Right, but they still have
60
2. They're
and
still
61.
So the Tigers are a game in hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
and if
these
we
Guardians
manage to
look
beat the White
dead.
Sox, who have been struggling of late too, even though Murakami's hitting the ball, their bullpen has been giving up games like the Tigers were in May. So there's a chance we could see Detroit overtake the division by the end of the weekend.
And they were minus. They still weren't as bad as the Guardians last year. They were only 15 under, Germ.
Mm-hmm. Well, at one
Not
point
18.
at one time we were 16 and a half games behind.
Oh, I heard on the broadcast it was 15.
Yeah, at the end of May we were 16 and a half games behind you. The White Sox hadn't overtaken you yet. As soon as the White Sox get there, we were 15 games behind. The first time they overtook the Guardians.
Crazy. Candy, you gonna sneak out of this one, or are you gonna give us your town?
I'm gonna give us my town. I mean, my Brewers are hitting a little rough patch, and they're playing some really good teams now. They start a 4-game series with the Dodgers, then they do a 3-game, and they're at the Dodgers. Then they come home and they're gonna play the Mariners for 3, and then they get the Braves for 3. So,
oof,
playing both
that's a rough 10-game stretch.
It is, yes. And then they get the Mets, but we won't go into that.
The Mariners might feel like a breather in the middle. I'm sorry, but they haven't been playing great as of late either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they might. Obviously, Adams talked. My Packers went into Pittsburgh. They did not look good, obviously, from the score. But hey, it's preseason. That's why you play the game. You're playing people that you don't always play. You're trying to see who meshes with who. The story that I wanted to shine a light on does not come out of my Wisconsin. It actually comes out of down here. I don't know if you guys heard about this or not. Mark Fletcher Jr., he's the star running back for the Miami Hurricanes. His mom goes to all of his games, but she drives. She does not fly. So, not last year. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before. She actually drove 18,000 miles to see every one of his games. Michael Irvin bought her an RV to travel to go to all of his games this year. And I just thought that was a feel-good story. Kudos to Michael Irvin. He's dealing with a lot. If you guys don't know, his wife is not in good health. And so he's dealing a lot with her. So for him to be able to still do these kind of gestures, we don't always hear about these little gestures, and I think it's kind of cool. So
I hope that what he did for her, because the RVs are expensive to drive around. I understand she's coming down to see the games. I hope he gave her a tow dolly too, so she could bring her car. That way she can save money if she's got to go somewhere in town.
I hear you. I don't know, but I just thought it was a cool story. And I thought, let's bring that to light because it doesn't happen.
They're going to come back and bite him in the ass anyhow. Are there any rules against this? Or are there any?
I don't think so because it's his mom. It's not him.
I was just curious because you know how this plays out.
Oh yeah, I know.
Usually never plays out good for the player.
Yeah. I don't know, but the fact that it was his mom, hopefully it's all on the up and up and all good. But with that being said, guys, we've had a lot of good chats in the chat room. Let's let everybody know how they can get a hold of you. Samir, you start.
You can find me every Thursday night here on Fire Up at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find me. You can subscribe and like to my YouTube page at Samir Media 3-Point Conversion or 3PC or Samir ATL Media 01. You can find me on Instagram at, let me make sure I get this right. Just need to make sure I get this right. Samir.atlmedianet. I post a lot of my content and articles on there. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you next week.
Adam, how can people find you?
Hey, you can get me at Sports Talking It on Twitter, which is right there under my handle there. Is that clear, or should I put it up top and put my name in the bottom? Just curious.
It's clear.
Anyway.
I can read it.
All right, just checking. You can also get me at Driving to the Top Productions on YouTube, where you can find a lot of good shows now. We picked up the guy up there in the corner, and yeah, that guy, and him and Ken run every morning. You know, we finally got something in the morning finally because a lot of us work, so I feel good about that. You can find something on the Driving to the Top Productions channel almost every day. And we usually don't do Sundays, but now that we have a fantasy show on Sunday from
every other Sunday until the season starts.
Oh, every other Sunday. Okay. So every other Sunday there is a show.
And pretty soon there will be 3 shows every Sunday as soon as basketball and hockey get into full swing.
I love it. Yeah. So that's good stuff coming from our channel. And every Thursday night you can find me here for sure with Jeremy and Candy and Samir. And sometimes we have Show Up or Not. I think that's what we should change the name to, Show Up or Not.
Fire up when you want to show up.
Jeremy, I'm going to go next because you always close out the show. So let me.
Okay.
South Florida Tribune Publishing Company publishes a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders, written by my husband, Scott, the Motor City Madmouth Morganroth. Talks about media. So if you know anybody that wants to go into the business, it's a great book to get. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. Audio link is on our out there. Link on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com. If you like to listen to podcasts, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. If you see the red subscribe button and you're watching it on our channel, then you haven't subscribed to us. Please click the red subscribe. Share it with all your friends and family. Make sure you turn on the notifications. I would also ask you to our new travel channel, Destination Discoveries Media Network. QR code up in the top left now is Destination Discoveries. If you like traveling or know anybody that likes traveling, go ahead and tell them about our channel. We've traveled a bunch of different places, including Naples, Key West, some Iceland, Norway, all that good stuff. Go check it out. We're talking about going to Dunedin and Tarpon Springs this weekend. We are going to try and see a minor league baseball game at Dunedin. For those of you that don't know, the Toronto Blue Jays do their spring training in Dunedin. That is the last ballpark that I have not been in that is a spring training site for all the major league teams. I've been in all the ones in Arizona, and it's the last one I haven't seen yet in Florida. So we will probably be doing some. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be cool, especially since we don't know if there's gonna be baseball next year. So we want to get to the park this year, so I can have that accomplishment underneath my belt. So, with that being said, I would also say we are posting this to numerous people's YouTube channels. I would ask everybody to subscribe to all of them, please, as they're all giving their time up freely. So please watch them, subscribe to their channels as well. With that being said, Jeremy, I'll let you tell us how they can find you and take us home.
Well, you can find me here on the South Florida Tribune channel every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday for Inside the Pigskin, and Thursday nights, it's the Country Club, also known as Fire Up. But anyways, you can also find me on the South Florida Tribune website, where I write about the Detroit Lions and other Detroit sports periodically, because I'm trying to become more well-rounded. Then you can also find me on my channel, which is the KCB Sports Network, where I have became a part of the host of shows also through Adam's channel, which is Driving to the Top Productions on YouTube. We are both trying to grow. We are trying to help each other. And it just makes things a lot easier when you got somebody that goes with you hand in hand. And as always, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat, whether you're from my channel or the South Florida Tribune or Samir's Twitter or Adam's Twitter or my Twitter. We love the comments. It keeps us going. And those from LinkedIn, let's not forget, we had Dr. Tanya in there tonight.
We actually have 56 people watching us right now. So
That's
from
pretty
multiple places. That's cool. So, yep.
I'm not on any channel tonight.
I tagged you, and it should come up in your notifications.
On Twitter?
Yep.
I'll look again. I didn't see it.
Well, thanks, everybody. With that being said, next week, top 5 list for NFL. What do we want to do?
Centers.
Samir, you're muted, so I think you muted yourself.
Have we touched DNs yet?
I don't think we did edge.
No.
We haven't done defensive tackles either, but we just did 2 weeks in a row of defense. That's why I was going
So we'll
off.
do
Yeah, let's
offense.
go. That's fine.
I think centers or tackles. Which way do you guys want to go?
Ooh.
Because tackles, you got left and right. We might have to do a top 10 on that, just because that way you get a nice consensus. But I think centers would be easier, because that's the same with guards. You got lefts and rights.
Let's do centers.
Mike Webster.
Oh, Mike Webster's in my top 5.
Let's
We're
do
doing
centers.
top 5.
Top
Yeah, we're gonna do
5
top 5.
centers, and then top 3 for your team.
Yep.
Sounds good. Everybody have a great week. Thanks, everybody, for tuning
right.
in.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
guys, for being on the show.